Hancock's opinion is that the Egyptian, especially the Great Pyramid, was actually a renovation project, because the pyramids that came after the Great Pyramid were not built as well and crumbled.
They're like KB homes.
So seriously, so it was like his opinion is that the who was it that's attributed to the Great Pyramid? Khufu. So his opinion is that Khufu had a renovation project on the Great Pyramid, and so that his opinion is the Great Pyramids are way older, but Egyptologists won't.
You call your contractor.
They won't agree with that. Because they have their view of history and the way it is.
Are we live? Yes. Motherfucker! Keep on doing this shit to me.
He did
Asshole.
say it. He did say it.
And we're recording too?
Apparently, yeah.
Okay, well, fuck. Well, then go. Shit. Yeah. You're gonna have to hand that to me afterwards, man.
All right, sure.
You know. Joe's pointing at you. Give me. It's in the front. Right here.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Welcome to Keepers of the Word. We are an esoteric study group of Freemasons whose purpose is of sharing knowledge of mystery schools and debunking misconceptions about Freemasonry. You're here with Mike and Ron.
Any of the opinions expressed on Keepers of the Word do not reflect the opinions of other organizations or Masonic lodges. So today's topic, we're going to cover two things. One is Masonic Con, which happened this past weekend at South Pasadena. Let's see here. Nope.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry, here, you have that one.
Right.
Right. So they had badass keynote speakers, dude. Like the who's who of Masonic speakers or
Masonic historians.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here, you had Arturo de Hoyos, Adam Kendall, Joseph Wages, Robert Johnson, and that's just a few of them. There was probably about 7 or 8 more, right? And the whole weekend you had just all day there was somebody to go listen to, which if you've ever been to their illumination lectures, it was like an illumination lecture on steroids. It was just constant things to do. They put on a really good show. If you didn't go to Masonicon, you missed out. It was awesome. I'm hoping that they do another one next year because it was really worth it and it was fun. And even the festive board, I mean,
Oh, that was a blast.
Mommy loaf. that was hilarious. Yeah, that was fun. I mean, you know, from what I could take away from that is these guys can put on a really badass production and give you your money's worth.
For sure.
Yeah. So, out of all the speakers, you obviously were there a little longer than I was. Who was your favorite speaker? What was your favorite point in all of Masonicon?
You know, I only caught the tail end of the speaker when you guys showed up on Saturday at the very, very end of his. I caught a little bit more than you guys did.
Adam Kendall?
No, before Kendall.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what his name was, but he did a talk on the hero's journey, and that was that really, really interested me. All of them did. Kendall's talk, to Woyo's talk, they were all really, really good speakers.
And you know, I do look up to these guys because they've kind of paved the way when it comes to information and knowledge. They're already putting bookmarks here and pointing you in directions that you would normally have to jump through hoops just to get to. And they're telling, okay, just go here, and you'll get your information, and it's valid. And I think one of the things that they were pointing out is validity and making sure that whatever information that you're writing or you're putting out, you know, you're able to reference or you're able to get good reference to. I think that's important in general in anything that you do, especially in masonry, that, you know, whatever you're researching, make sure that you're finding out that it's coming from a reliable source. And that's one thing I took away from this weekend, and I believe it was Arturo de Hoyos that was talking about that, and I think it was Adam Kendall or Joseph Wages that was.
Yeah, all three of them.
They were all there on a panel, and they were talking about that, and then you had RJ being the moderator, and it was really, really good. So I don't, if you missed out, you know what? Hopefully there's next year. There's another one, and I highly recommend this. It was a really good time, especially like for me. I had a good time at the fest. I have a good time at festive boards. That's just
Yeah,
what I do.
I mean the it was a good time. All the pop culture references, they tied it in. Masonic Con, it was their concept of doing a convention, masonry related, and with there being, Comic-Con this weekend, it was kind of like the weekend before Comic-Con, so it was their way of dealing with pop culture stuff. The festive board was around pop culture. We did 7 traditional toasts, but we toasted brothers in masonry that have had an impact on pop culture. Yeah. So Don Rickles, Bob Dylan, Richard Pryor. I forgot the others, but yeah, so that was a great time. And then the vendors that they had there,
well, obviously right here you have Masonic Revival. He was kind enough to donate some ties. Beautiful work, Brother Edgar Alejandro. Go to MasonicRevival.com. You'll be able to check out all the stuff that he's got. He had like 3 large tables filled with ties, bow ties, hats, and a bunch of other things. And it's really good quality stuff.
Absolutely.
And it's, brothers made it. This isn't the stuff that you see on Facebook where you have some janky website or guy trying to sell you
crap made in China or freaking Bangladesh.
Yeah. So, one thing I like to always tell our viewers is support actual brothers doing business. There's a lot of businesses out there that are just putting out shit just to make a buck. And I get it. You want to save a buck, whatever. But I'd rather support a brother who's got quality stuff, who knows the craft, and really put some nice things behind, nice thoughts behind his design. And, you see that in Masonic Revival. You see that in, what is that, Ascended Masters clothing. You see that in a bunch of works out there where brothers are putting in, like Fossil Bluff. If you ever check out his metal work, dude, it's amazing, his stuff, dude. Like he'll make plaques with a square and compass. He'll make anything out of metal with that's Masonic related, and things like that. I'd rather pay the extra $15 just to have something that is high quality made by a brother. Yeah. And at least that dude understands what the square and compass is. Where you see a lot of these companies, they don't. They're just there to make a buck. They know that there's a niche, and they're just capitalizing on the niche. Yep. So, check out Masonic Revival. Make sure you give him a follow as well. He's on Instagram. And check out his stuff, man. He's got some really cool stuff. We also ran into Johnny Royal, which is dope, man. Like, every time I see that cat, Johnny, just nothing but love, dude. And it's great because he's like, "What's up?" and you start talking about his movie, and Illuminated's coming out on the 30th, and that is about the Illuminati, the real deal behind
story.
It. So, if you get a chance to check it out or order his movie, I believe they're already pre-ordering. I think it's PraetoriumFilms.com. Yeah. Can we look that up to make sure that I get it right? I don't want to not get it right. Praetorium, I think it's PraetoriumFilms.com. You could order it there.
I believe also Illuminated his website. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, something like that. I'll check it out while we're talking there.
Check that out.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
So, support Johnny Royal. He puts a lot of work into his movies, and it's a good information. It's good information that we need to know in general as Masons and those as non-Masons, so that way we could dispel this bullshit that is out there about the Illuminati, because we get it every day. Every day there's somebody asking to join.
Yep.
Illuminatedmovie.com. There you go. So
Yep.
check that out.
And DVD pre-order is
Yeah,
on the.
you
is
could
on
you
the-
could order that. You order your DVD right now, and he also has 33 and Beyond on there, I believe. That was the movie previous to this one, which is also great. Other than that, I think
We got to see Jason Wilson's project,
Jason Wilson,
Sacred
which
Steel.
hooked me up with this cool shirt. Damn, it feels good to be a Mason. Thank you very much. That story, like, if you haven't seen Sacred Steel, I don't know if you could still check it out, but
Yeah,
it's
they're out
really
there.
it was really cool seeing the work that he had to put in.
It's a real American dream story. Here's a bunch of guys that are brothers in the motorcycle community and are building bikes and are building pieces of art that are just beautiful works of art, and really just trying to create something and create their vision of what these choppers are and what art is and what life can be like if you live it every single day. So, it's definitely an American dream story. So
Yeah, and this one of those things where it's the way he explained it was, I worked my 9 to 5. After the 9 to 5, I had to go put in another 7 hours
Right.
at the shop building with my friends. Now, just business in general isn't easy. To have your own business, it's a lot of work, but when you do it with friends, it makes it that much easier. It's fun. You learn. You end up beating the shit out of each other every once in a while. It's just one of those things, and
Yeah.
it's follow your dreams, man, because why not? You only live once.
Yep.
Right.
For sure.
Fuck. So yeah. Now we will talk about the Ruffians, and I just so happen to have the president of the Ruffians with me, Mr. Ron Duncan.
Thank you very much.
I remember my first experience here at this lodge. I messaged online. I went to our whack-ass website that we had back then, and I submitted a question. Hey, when can I go down there and learn, right? So I believe it was Matt Stevens who got back to me.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, come down on this day. We're having a social night. Just come through. But he didn't tell me, like, it's casual. So I put on a suit, figured, you know what, this is what Freemasonry is about. This was what I thought in my head. So I get here, and I see this guy just like this, and right there at the bar, and I'm like, did I walk into the right place? And everybody else was real chill, in jeans and T-shirts. I'm like, all right, cool, fuck it. Yeah, I'll take this. So it was a good experience the first time I sat down. It was like one of the first Masons I ever met here. And look what we're doing now.
Here we go.
Yeah. So tell me, how did the Ruffians start?
Well, the Ruffians started about 7 years ago. There was a group of our club that rode with FMRC, which is Freemason Riding Club. It's another motorcycle-related Masonic club. And these guys they just kind of really weren't digging the vibe that FMRC had. And it wasn't anything personal. It was just that they wanted something of their own. They wanted something that was just more aligned with motorcycle culture, with an MC, motorcycle club, versus a riding club. And the difference with that, most of the time in a riding club, it's a patch that you buy, and then these people will get together on occasion and ride, and so they all wear the same patch. You have like Harley Owners Group, the Hog, and you've got a bunch of other places. There's a place out in Anaheim called Lifestyle Cycle, and they have a riding club out there, and it's great fellowship and hanging out and all that, but it's not protocol for motorcycle club. Motorcycle club protocol has, first of all, they have officers, president, vice president, usually secretary, treasurer, and sergeant at arms. They have meetings which is known as church, on a monthly basis, and then they have a prospecting period in order to become part of the club. That is a motorcycle club protocol. So these guys wanted to do something more along that line, to have, not only the Masonic ties to it, but a real, true motorcycle club atmosphere to the club. So they sat down and they hashed it all out, and there was 7 guys in the beginning, and it was the founding 7, of which the founding 7, we've had one brother that passed away. He had cancer, and he lost his fight with the cancer. We had one brother that moved away and moved out of the state and away from the club, so he left. And then we have another brother that is still part of the club, but he moved out of the state as well. So here within our club, we still have 4 of the original founding 7. I was fortunate enough to be the very first prospect for the club, so I was the first member that wasn't part of the founding 7. The founding 7 all chose their road names and chose the club name and the colors and everything that you see here. I got the opportunity to be the first prospect for the club, so they chose my name.
They chose your name, so
Yep.
That's something that's given to you.
That is correct.
Okay, so what year was that founded?
It's been about 7 years now, so I want to say like 2012, somewhere around 2012 is when they founded. And so aside from having the motorcycle protocol, they wanted to spread Masonry, and then also another goal was to create a scholarship fund for Masonic youth. So that's, aside from having the club, riding as friends and brothers, and spreading Masonry, also the scholarship that we offer once a year. We do a scholarship for the local. I think we're up to, we kind of keep expanding it a little bit, so we're up to like North Los Angeles County, Orange County, a little bit of Inland Empire, and then also part of northern San Diego County as well, that we extend any Masonic youth that is either a senior in high school getting ready to go to college or trade school, or a first year college or trade school Masonic youth. So they have to have that connection. They have to have a letter of recommendation from their organization's adult in charge, whether it be the Bethel Guardian or the chapter dad or whatever, and make sure that they're active within their organization, and then they can put in we have having a brain cramp. They have to write a story.
Oh, okay. Essay.
Essay. So it's an essay contest, and so they'll submit essays, and then we choose an essay from the submissions, and once we have that winner, then we go and make a presentation of the scholarship. And so far it's been, I think, 5 or 6 years now that they've done a $500 scholarship for Masonic youth. So, and our goal is to continue to do that, and hopefully we're pushing towards being able to do either larger scholarships or possibly one scholarship for each one of the Masonic youth. So Job's Daughters, Rainbow Girls, DMLA.
Why did you join the Ruffians over all the other groups?
Well, when I very first met these guys, there was a brother that was a member of our lodge here named Mustafa Reese, Moose. And Moose was a good friend of mine. He was a brother here, and he was friends with the guys in the club. And Moose, unfortunately, he was built like a moose. He was like 6 foot and 350, 400 pounds. He was a real large guy, and it was really sad that he had a heart attack and passed away. So it was since he was a member here, we were dealing with the Masonic funeral. Sean, one of the brothers here, our secretary, was going to perform the Masonic funeral service, and so I went to the service, and that's when I first met these guys. So I see all these, bikers that are Masons, and I introduced myself to them, and I had just gotten a bike myself, so I was. I had been on two wheels many years ago when my daughter was young, and wound up selling that bike and not having a bike for many years. And it was one of those things where I wanted to get back on two wheels again. I wanted to be riding, so I got a bike. And when I met these guys at Moose's funeral, there was another club that was there that the guy was talking to me, and then I was talking with the Ruffians, and I was, looking at options and seeing what each one of the clubs was about. And I think that I just really connected with the brothers within the Ruffians. I they were my people. They were my tribe. It made sense, and so I asked them if I could prospect.
Cool. In your opinion, do you feel the fraternity in general still holds an unfavorable opinion on Masonic motorcycle clubs and brothers sporting cuts in lodge?
I get a mix of it. I see. I think that I'm pretty fortunate here at my lodge that people are really, really understanding about it. I've traveled to other lodges where they also have brothers that ride or old bikers. There was a guy that I met at my when I had my dad's memorial up at Turlock Lodge. This guy was knew Sonny Barger, who was the founder of Hell's Angels. He knew him from many years ago. This guy was probably in his 70s, and he had been a biker and a bike builder, and I told him, I'm interested in doing a build project. And he's like, man, if you just here's my number, give me a call, whatever, I'll help you out with whatever you need help out with. And I was like, that was really cool. And so, it's nice to have that. Sometimes I see the opposite, sometimes I see the stares or the scowls or whatever. And, it is what it is. Doesn't bother me.
I remember there was an experience where I forget where I was, but I was at another lodge, and we were talking about Masonic clubs, motorcycle clubs, and they brought up the Ruffians. Oh yeah, the Ruffians, they're pretty tough, and I'm listening to them like, okay, and they're making it sound like that you guys were 1%ers, and it was it was funny because I'm sitting there like, okay, and this dude's this dude's like telling me he's freaking out. He knows some Ruffians, and he's like, yeah, they're kind of wild. And I'm like, bro, I know a couple of them. They're cool, but
clearly you don't know the same guys I know.
Guys,
right?
I know, shit, because they're not out there doing 1%er shit.
Yeah.
And for the audience that doesn't know what the 1%er versus the rest of the bike clubs, what can you shed some light on that?
1%ers are essentially the outlaw motorcycle clubs. They are basically the 1% of the motorcycle community that are, they're the ones that are generally involved in illegal activity. The gangsters, we talk about the certain club. I'm not even going to say any names, so
I get you.
People know.
Like today, I just found out that Jesse the Body Ventura was a Mongol, dude.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like, what? For real? I didn't even know that. And that dude was supposed to try to run for president. Can you imagine? They would have brought all that shit up. Yeah, it was Sergeant of Arms, dude.
Wow.
Jesse the Body Ventura, dude. Wow. And he was a Navy SEAL, so that dude's got a lot of titles under him, which is cool, But getting back to your position as being president, how does this position relate to being a master of the lodge? Since you were a past master, is it easier, more difficult, or entirely different, completely different experience?
Some of the experience is very similar. I mean, you're leading a group of brothers that have elected you and put you in charge and trust you, and sometimes there's things that you have to deal with, just like in lodge, that there's things that you have to deal with that come up, whatever, anything from trying to figure out, okay, let's do another fundraiser. How are we going to do this? What are we going to do to, somebody's feelings got hurt and you have to deal with that. It's has a lot of similarities to being master. And yet it's a little bit different because within our bylaws, we've actually made it so that the president will remain president unless one of two things: either the president vacates the office, or if there is a vote of no confidence amongst the club. So if the club all of a sudden decided Prez not doing his job, we don't feel like that he should be in charge anymore, then they could have a vote of no confidence. And I've been fortunate to be president for about 3.5 years now. So the guys continue to have confidence in me and allow me to run this club.
As they should. Does Freemasonry need to catch up and get more involved with groups like BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse? If not, start their own branch of it? I guess this question's reaching out to charitable organizations, which you guys do. You guys do a lot of like toy runs, and you're raising money for kids to go to college. Do you feel that the craft itself needs to step up its game in that manner, or do you feel the craft is doing its own thing in a different way?
I think that the craft definitely has things like the within the shrine they have a motorcycle club within the shrine that is the patrol, shrine patrol, and so there's definitely the certain things that the craft is doing to try to promote things that people are interested in, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But if someone has an idea to create a Masonic club, which is essentially what we are a Masonic club. So we have a Masonic affiliation requirement. You have to be a Master Mason to be a full patch. We do take prospects that are EAs and fellow crafts, but in order to be a full patch, you have to be a Master Mason. So the Masonic clubs, I think a lot of time are definitely driven by people's wants, needs, and desires for their version of charity, what the brotherhood is and what the charity is, So I think it's a lot more organic when something like the Ruffians, that was born out of its own purposes and continues to promote Masonry and do things like the scholarship fund and do toy runs and go to the Shriners Hospital and all of that stuff. I think it's a lot more organic when it can just kind of
just happen,
born, kind of like keepers,
It just happens, just manifests. So, getting back to how does one join the Ruffians, and what type of motorcycle do you need in order to join that group?
Okay. So our requirements for motorcycles are a cruiser style motorcycle that is at least 500 cc's, which is a pretty standard within the motorcycle club culture world. We looked at a lot of bylaws when we wrote our own bylaws, and that was a pretty standard requirement. We chose the cruiser style so that way we would have an identity that was very specific and alike, so that we don't have any. It doesn't matter if you have an import cruiser or an American cruiser. We've got,
as long as it's a cruiser. As
long as it's a cruiser. We've got guys with Hondas. We've had a guy with a Triumph before. We have a lot of Harleys. We've got several Victories now, but it's got to be a cruiser, and at least 500 cc's. And part of that is about keeping up. I mean, most smaller cc bikes, anything that's that's a 250 or something smaller, you usually just can't keep up. And we go on a lot of runs, a lot of freeway, and so they wouldn't be able to keep up. And so that's kind of the purpose for that. And basically, you just contact us and let us know that you're interested, and you come and meet us, and we meet you. And it's a matter of, the same way that you join a lodge, that as soon as you go and you realize, these are my people, this is my tribe, these are the kind of people that I'm comfortable with, I want to hang out with, and I feel good about it. Or you don't, and sometimes it happens the other way. We've had guys that came and said that they had interest, and we were just like, we didn't feel like they were the same type of, cut from the same cloth, if you will, So we were like, no, it's not. And we don't think it's going to be a good fit type of thing. But once you come and check us out and figure out it's a good fit, and we figure out it's a good fit, you can ask for an application to prospect, and the club votes on the prospect. And if we vote the prospect in, then they start wearing a prospect cut, and they're a prospect for at least a year.
Do they have to be Master Masons?
In order to petition, they don't have to be. So you can be a prospect as a entered apprentice or a fellow craft. In fact,
you have to be at least first degree.
At least you have to be a Mason. You have to at least be first degree. And we've been very fortunate that we've had 2 or 3 guys that had interest in the club and actually wound up petitioning lodges and joining Masonry in order to become part of our club. So it not only promoted our club, but it promoted Masonry in general. So, that was good.
So where do you see the MC in the next, say, 10 years?
That's really, it's really tough to say. I've kind of, I guess what I talk about within the club all the time is that, I'm proud to be part of this club, and I'm sure the club is different now than it was 7 years ago when they got started. But the statement that I usually make is that whenever you have a vision for something and you create this entity, it's kind of like having a kid, so you're giving birth to this kid, and you have a lot of vision for it, and yet it's going to grow up and become a teenager and be a pain in the ass and want to do its own thing and have its own vision of where it should go. And as long as the organization is growing in a positive way, that is being successful with the visions that you had for it, even if it's not exactly the way that you had envisioned it happening, you just got to roll with it, and you got to let it flow. Exactly. And honestly, I think within 10 years, I'd like to see this thing continuing to flow. We're a slow growing club. We have less than 20 members total, but we've got guys that are all, like I said, cut from the same fabric. And it's one of those quality over quantity situations. We've got all really good guys within our club, and I'd like to see the club continue to grow at that same way, and I think that within the next 10 years we'll see that. We'll see guys continue. We'll see the club growing at the pace that it needs to grow at, and continuing to do the things that we do, and giving away more money for scholarships. We're working on getting nonprofit status right now, so that way we can do some good big raffles. We're looking the future within the next, once we get our status finalized, we'd like to do like some type of a bike giveaway, so if we can go talk to a local dealership and figure out how to get a really good deal on a bike, or get a bike donated, so that we can do a really nice fundraiser and come up with some good money for a scholarship. And that would be, I would say, if anything, that would be my goal, is to see our scholarship go from $500 to 5,000 to 10,000, you know, to just see
great.
it continuing to grow
Yeah.
and promoting the youth of Masonry.
So if anybody's listening that is involved with Harley Davidson or Victory or, you know, any company that can donate a bike, brand new, hit us up, DM us, let us know. We would like to help them out. Where do we go if, like, say I was interested and I'm like, you know, I need to get a hold of the Ruffians? Is there a website, or is there like the Facebook page, or how does one knock on your door?
Yeah, we've got both the website, which is ruffiansmotorcycleclub.com. You can get information from us there. We've got some of our things that we do for that we're raising money for scholarship. We have our challenge coins. We've got some support T-shirts and stickers and some whiskey glasses, and we've had shot glasses. I don't know if they're still on the website or not. But also we have the Facebook page, Ruffians. Just look up Ruffians MC. Ruffians MC, Ruffians Motorcycle Club. You'll be able to find us on
there, and
Facebook.
somebody could just, you know, hit you up there.
Yep.
Hey, let's meet up. All right, cool. So let's talk more. Let's talk about stuff that we got going on. So we got Esotericon coming on the 7th, September 7th. We're looking for vendors. If you want to be a vendor, DM us or hit up James at keepersoftheword.net. Right now we have a good amount of vendors. We would like it to be a village of vendors. That's what we're aiming for, so that way if somebody comes, they have lecturers to come see, and they have vendors to go shop around and talk with, and, you know, have this experience where you're able to ask questions. And maybe there's certain areas in the occult esoteric world that you wanted to explore. This would be the place to do it. I think it's going to be something where you're going to have everything under one roof, and it'll be a nice thing to put together when it comes together. If you need any more information, go to keepersoftheword.net. You can buy your tickets there. Right now they're on sale. They're $7. We're going to run that till the end of the week. After that, they're going to go up. I'm not going to tell you how much they're going to go up. So you either get them now at $7, or you pay more, because at the door they're going to be a lot more. So we want you to purchase your tickets now at keepersoftheword.net. We have Lon Milo Duquette. We got Daniel Alexa. We got Merrick Hamer. The SoCal Research Lodge. We have Jarrell. Who else do we have? Siren of the Order of Lightning.
Those are going to be speakers.
Those are speakers. And then we have our very own James Braceto, who's going to be talking about Enoch. I'm not sure where he's going to go down with that, but that would be a really good lecture. Each one of these lectures is going to be about 45 minutes. They're going to be held in an adjacent room. We're going to have another room which is specifically for the vendors, and we're going to make it an experience. What I'm envisioning is a big community coming together from all different cultures, walks of life, and just sharing information and selling and bringing all of their stuff in. That's what I see. And hopefully we could manifest that, you know, with good vibes and positive energy.
And whether people are beginning a spiritual journey someplace in the middle, or maybe masters at their journey, there's probably going to be something for all of those people. And for $7, if you buy these pre-sale tickets, I mean, you're going to get the $7 will allow you to see all the speakers and will allow you to interact with all of the vendors. So
yeah, so I look forward to that. We got a lot of work to do. Seeing, you know, what Masonic Con was.
Yeah.
Wow, we got some big shoes to fill.
For sure.
It's different. It's a little different, but it's, you know, we need to create the experience.
Yeah.
And it starts at 11, ends at 7. You'll have all day to, you know, check out all the different vendors and, you know, talk to people. We have Points of Light coming. We have SoCal Research Lodge, which has a whole bunch of books, you know, a bunch of cool stuff. We have Daniel Alexa, who's a hypnotherapist and life coach. We have a good amount. I believe Sterling, he just purchased his. He just got his booth.
Get a booth? Awesome.
Yeah, so you have, you know, Sterling, Sir what was his name?
Sterling Knight.
Sterling Knight. There you go. Expert in Nordic mythology, Nordic mythology, the Futhark,
And runes.
So you definitely want to talk to that guy. Like I wanted to keep him here and just kidnap him and talk to him for like the whole night when he was here, when he did our last episode, because he was just a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a lot of people like that. Last week I had the honor of meeting Rhapsody of Points of Light, and it's a trip because when I went over there, and James makes it sound like, just go in there, go calm. And he like prepares you to walk in there. I'm like, whoa, bro,
You're going to meet the Oracle.
Yeah,
mind your
Matrix,
mind your
dude.
P's and Q's, and don't
do this.
Don't talk out
don't,
of.
Don't look her in the eye. Like, you just made it all scary. And I'm like, no, bro. I walked in there, said hi to Rhapsody, and before I got there, I was feeling a type of way. I was going through some shit. When I walked in there, it was like it's just started to dissipate. When I went and shook Rhapsody's hand, it changed. There was something that changed. And then when I finally we were talking, and I bought some things there. I got some incenses. I got some stones. And when I said goodbye, the everything was changing in me. And when I walked out, there was a complete transmutation on how I was feeling. So, those are the type of people you're going to meet here. You're going to meet people who are just masters in what they do, and the energy is very, very good. So, get your tickets now. $7 till, I believe, Sunday. If you don't do it, well, I don't know what to tell you, man, but the price is going to go up, and you're going to have to pay a little bit more. So that's where we're at with Esotericon. Also, keepersoftheword.net. We have product there. We have shirts. We have hats. We have merchandise. And I want to apologize to Mario Serenko, who purchased something that was on back order, and it just got shipped out like a couple days ago. So thank you very much for your patience. Unfortunately, like
Appreciate
when you
it.
have things like that where you're selling online, your distributors sometimes get pushed back a little, and it's just life, dude.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But thank you again for your patience. This weekend, this Sunday, we have our chili cook-off here at LA Harbor Lodge. I believe it's $15 to get in. I don't know how much it is to register as a.
Doesn't cost anything if you want to put in an entry for the chili contest. It doesn't cost anything.
You have to get a hold of Cindy Baker, right?
Correct.
Okay. So
send us a DM. We can
send us a
get you
DM,
that
we'll
info
get
if
you
you're.
that information if you want, and we'll get you to Cindy. So the whole chili cook-off experience is there's a bunch of people making different types of chili. And I remember that one time Bassman made that bear chili.
Oh man,
it was bear.
Yeah.
I never ate bear before.
Yeah, I think he had 3 different unique meats in it, like bear,
venison,
elk, and
something.
venison.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it wasn't bad.
It was awesome.
It wasn't gamey.
It wasn't
good.
Yeah.
And I still think, like, for me, my wife makes the best fucking chili ever, dude. Like that, she does her little magic, and it's probably the best chili I've ever had. I wanted her to enter again this year, but she's working that day, so we're kind of fucked right there. But one day I'm gonna have her make a big batch for either a social night or something, and we'll grub it here, because it's bomb. Make sure you guys check that out. What's up, Joe? Nothing? Oh, sorry.
We're good.
The what? You sound like Brad Pitt from Snatch, bro. Very quick for a fat fuck. You like Dex? I'm just fucking winging it now, bro. I don't know. Well, we covered Masonic Con. We have the chili cook-off going on this weekend. Scottish Rite. I don't think we could say much about that, but just know that that's a path that
some of us are
going to
be go down.
So in the future, you will see Keepers of the Word joining the Scottish Rite here in Long Beach, at the Valley of Long Beach. And There's some cool things that are going to be happening with that. Stay tuned.
Yep.
And then we had somebody on here's a good topic. Here's something that I'd like to cover because
Okay.
I feel we're in position to do it. Some guy was talking, and I see this a lot in different lodges. Man, I wish there was guys like you guys here to talk about the esoterics. Okay, well, I think that might be a possibility in the future because we might be able to reach out and help out in that shape or in a way. We haven't formulated yet, but let's just say you're at a lodge, you wanted a little more. There's a couple dudes there that think the same way you think. Why don't you get on your own shit and just do it like what we did? Like, like give us a call, let's talk, and let's figure it out.
Yeah, we may have some things coming down the pipes too, as far as club wise goes, and maybe ways to help promote that with other lodges. We'll talk about that as it develops.
Yeah, I think for us, Masonic education or esoteric education is key to this fraternity growing. I feel
Agreed.
that a lot of people a lot of people in the past just pushed it to the side and just focused on the brotherhood, which is cool and great, but you're forgetting the foundation. And the foundation is what really holds it all together.
Yep. Need food.
You need it.
Need
and
food.
We're ready to bring it, and it's coming. So those of you who are in lodges spread out throughout the United States or maybe abroad, we don't know. We'll be able to help you out. DM us, and we're going to figure out something where we can reach out or maybe have other chapters of Keepers of the Word.
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially. We're not saying it yet. But we're in the works because I hate seeing that. I don't like it. Like these guys are fuck. I don't have this here.
Yeah.
And this is what I joined. Why I joined. Well, shit.
And it's really cool to hear that there are guys that are petitioning other lodges too that were drawn to the lodge because they saw our show. We're getting feedback on that. Some guys in, I believe, Huntington Beach, definitely guys at Beverly Hills Lodge, people that were interested in what we talked about, and it got them to go and petition a lodge. So, plus we have it happening here as well.
Yeah, we have it happening here. It's funny because a lot of people have this misconception of what Masonry is, and I had it myself. I thought it was just a bunch of dudes in suits who got together and drank wine and then were proper and they talked to each other in an English accent, and that was my view of what Masonry was, and it's not that whatsoever.
And yet you wanted to join, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I was in a weird place at that time. I just wanted to check it out. I wanted to X that part out of my life, and I came in here and it was more than what I expected.
Yeah.
It was great, and now I get to build. I'm building something with my brothers together. We're creating something nice, and I'm happy. I know everybody else is happy, and it's just growing, and it's beautiful. And I just want to say thank you to all of our viewers, our followers.
For sure.
Thank you for subscribing, sharing, liking, all of it, man. I greatly appreciate it because this is fun.
True.
We just hit 20,000.
It's freaking awesome, man.
I know to most pages that's nothing, but it was all organic. It was hard work.
Yep. And
we did not pay for any of it.
What, a year and a half?
Yeah, and it's just consistently growing. And I just want to thank everybody, those who are constantly reposting our stuff, like Fire and Lux, Sam Hain, Irina Crowley. There's a bunch of people just helping us out. Reposting our stuff, getting our audience, sharing audiences, and building our reach, because I feel your reach is everything.
Yep.
Especially in social media, your reach is everything. So if you get the chance, please go to YouTube, subscribe, share. Same thing with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on all the channels right now, except for Snapchat, just because that's just different. You can't really. Well, you can, but it's just a lot of work. we are already doing a lot of work. So that's that. So that's all I have.
So do we want to talk about July 30?
July 30th.
Illuminated?
Well, we were asked to go on the red carpet and cover Illuminated and interview the VIPs that are going.
Guests and VIPs, yeah.
It's in the works
I'm
right
excited.
now. I'm excited. I'm hoping that everything falls through, and you will see us live in Hollywood on the red carpet, interviewing people like Johnny Royal, and other big name bands, actors, and so
Yep.
on. I would like to get their view of what they're thinking the Illuminati is,
Yeah.
or the craft in general. And that's what we are there to cover. So hopefully this all goes through really well, and we're there to do it. And right now it's looking good. So
And those tickets are still available if
Yeah.
you want to go to that screening. So, like
Yeah.
we said before, illuminatedmovie.com. You can get them on there, and it's going to be a cool
it's gonna be
thing.
cool.
And then we already talked to Johnny, and once the debut of the movie comes out, we'll be able to get him back on the show again and talk to him about
The experience.
making the movie and the experience. So.
Yeah, because the last time we had him on here, he was telling me he was actually holding the documentation of, I think, Adam Weinschaft,
Yeah,
the founder.
from Bavaria.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the articles of or the articles that created that lodge.
Right.
So, I want to hear about that.
Yeah.
I want to get deep, and I know you can't really talk about it right now
Right.
because
They're getting ready
they're
for
getting
the
ready
release.
to launch it.
Yeah.
But best believe afterwards I'm going to hit him up, or maybe there we get to talk to him and get those answers. So
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. And that's all I have, sir. So thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
believe I covered everything. If you have any questions or concerns, please DM us on either Instagram, Facebook. We try to get back to you as quick as possible. Or visit us at keepersoftheword.net. We have a lot of cool stuff there. Please check it out. And get your tickets for Esotericon because they're $7,
Yep.
and Sunday they're going to
What
go
a bargain.
up, baby. And if you don't do it, then I don't
You're
want
bad.
to hear you crying. All right? So thank you very much. Good night.